Hi guys, this is Jonathan and Jackson with ngexperience.com. Today we're going to be talking about stances, and one of the things, just kind of universal stances and concepts that I think if we focus on, it might help you in your Randori or your self-defense lines where everything just sort of becomes improvisation. First off, from an attacking standpoint, you always want to think about being in a stance even when you're an attacker. And so a lot of times on the self-defense line or the attack line, however you like to call it, Jackson is in the line and then my card or whatever says throw a roundhouse right, or I am just decide to throw a roundhouse right, and you walk up and then you do something like this. And this is what it looks like. Don't even react, Jackson. That is not a picture that he is going to see in real life as nage. And so, look, hands are up as the attacker, right? And then the roundhouse right, step in and then lead. And this step, look, I'm in the hami, I come up, my hands are up. When I step around, recognize that walk? Boom. Okay, and then the interesting thing about it is it's no longer a roundhouse right. It is a straight punch that you are throwing at an angle. But to him, it has the feeling of a roundhouse right because your elbow is way over here. And so if he were just to do a simple elbow chop application, step forward just a little bit. Don't do the whole throw because I've got my glasses on and stuff. But so here, into a hami, rotate around. Yes, it feels just like it normally would, but the attack is so much more sincere from Uke's standpoint. In other words, I'm not just walking up and, unfortunately you see that. And people that watch the video go, well, this is stupid. No one attacks like that, right? And so the concept here is make your attacks realistic. And so both hands up, right? She's in time, go ahead, and then she's in time. The minute that these hands should come up, his stance should change, okay? So here, exactly. Now that is a realistic feeling attack. From the roundhouse, the straight, the same thing. Hands come up, his stance changes, and then we're doing elbow chop again, or whatever he wants to do. I'm sure that every one of you had a student at your dojo that, would get something like the roundhouse, and they would come and they would do something like this. Have you ever seen anybody do that in your dojo? Okay, let's not do that anymore, because no one attacks like this, right? And so number one, attacks. Both hands come up just like they would in a fight. Number two, stance is still relevant, right? And then, and so is follow through. So follow through is this notion that you're going to continue to try to attack. So many times, because our style is particularly violent, you will find yourself, or new students especially, will just want to flop. Get on the mat as soon as possible so I don't get my elbow tweaked or whatever. And as nage, your responsibility is not to hurt your training partner, right? And so one way to protect yourself as uke or attacker is to continue to try to attack, and that will continue to orient your torso to his. And so I'm here, I step around, I throw, I'm still orienting, look, our chests are mirrored. And now the fall for me is easy. I just drop down, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, the ability to connect again, right? So uke is constantly attacking, if you will, constantly trying to keep his chest parallel to nage's chest so that he can continue to punch him, if you will. All right, so that's the first point from the attacker standpoint. From the defender standpoint, and this is something that you also see sometimes in videos of Aikido, is you'll see a lot of this. So now we've reversed roles and he's going to be attacking me. Just step back a little bit. And so I'm in Shizen Tai, or maybe I'm in a Hamni or whatever. And then you come in and do the attack. And then don't land the punches. I'm not really going to defend. And you see this. You know, with a lot of, I mean, there's no clear stance. So do it again. You know, you got, you know, it's just kind of shuffling back and forth. And so every movement should be a transition from one stance to the next. And so if he's coming with roundhouse and I decide to arimi, you know, I'm here and then I enter, I'm still in a stance, right? And this is clear and it cleans everything up. We focus so much on classical technique footwork, and then sometimes in the attack lines, it just disappears. And so I would encourage you to video, you know, some of your freestyle attacks at the end of class. Just run a video and then watch the guys go through, and you'll see the people that have good footwork and those that have, you know, some issues they need to iron out. But it should look maybe something like this. So we're not going to do throws, we're just going to do movements. So you're going to attack, enter, Hamni, we break apart, you attack again. Still in a Hamni, see the Hamni, right? He attacks again. You're constantly moving in a way that you know, creates structure and has an operational stance, if you will. Okay, so that's a video for today, and something to think about. Just make your training time realistic by improving your footwork, I guess, is the message as it relates to freestyle. Thanks so much for watching. This is Jonathan and Jackson with NGExperience.com.